Good luck.
Okay, so thanks for coming for this talk, and hopefully you like it. So to go a little bit on, so my name is Rachid Zarouali. I'm a freelance cloud architect. I actually live in France, Southeast Lyon, anyway. Doing a lot of things actually around cloud architecture, CI/CD monitoring, security, obviously, because we are in a DevSecOps conference, automations, and so on and so forth. Basically, what I try to offer to my clients is all the tools, the methods, and the skills that are built to make their project succeed. And as you can see, I'm using a lot of different tools. Snake, Open Policy, Kubernetes, and Nomad, obviously, Terraform, and so on and so forth. So what's behavior analysis? That's the topic for today. Basically, behavior analysis is how we can understand the behavior of individuals, naturally speaking, meaning that we want to understand how nature works, the sun, flowers, and so on and so forth. So how our surrounding works and how it behaves because of H and any, let's say, circumstances. Regarding Kubernetes then, what do we want to know about? We want to have a constant check of everything that's happening in our cluster, like every events, pods, networks, connections, database access, data loads, anything. And as we are in a DevSecOps world, we also want to detect abnormal behaviors. And what I mean by that is untrusted access, app crashes, hacks, so on. And let's say all the bad stuff that we all want to avoid in production.
Rachid, I'm jumping in a bit because the presentation seems to be kind of weird because the two slides are overlapping currently. I'm not sure if you can see this. Maybe just move back and forward and it does work better.
It's not on my side, actually. It's the...
I think it's the streaming. So
yeah.
Let's try stop screen sharing and let's redo it. Let's see if that works.
Okay, my apologies. Let's do that. Okay.
No worries. That's what we're here for.
So stop sharing screen. And there we go. Okay.
1 second. And I think this...
No, it still overlaps.
What are you sharing? Are you sharing your whole desktop or are you sharing one window?
The whole desktop, the whole screen.
Let's try to continue and see what we can make of it.
Okay. Sorry, guys. My apologies. This is live and we have issues. Let's see how it goes. So let's see if I do. Okay, I think I found a quick workaround. Let's make it that way anyway. So what we want to see here is how we can use a tool called Falco. The goal of Falco is to check everything that's happening in our cluster, and let's say if we can leverage each and let's say other features from this tool to secure our platform. Let's do it that way. So what is Falco? This is a behavior analysis solution. It works everywhere, bare metal, VM, containers, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, open source, supported by the CNCF. And just for a quick footnotes, this has been built by the father of Wireshark. To move a little bit faster on this and let you know how it goes. So these graphs show you basically how Falco works. It loads each and any events from everywhere in your cluster, do a lot of, let's say, checking based on its out-of-the-box rules, and then trigger events, alerts, actions in your clusters. So it will help you to see what's happening, and based on what's happening, let's trigger some actions into the cluster, like, I don't know, popping new pods or cutting connections and so on and so forth. How we can use this Falco then? So basically, this is Falco. It loads everything from the system, from your pods, your applications, and so on and so forth. But it has also the ability to get connected with plugins especially one here that we'll see afterwards, which is the Falco Sidekick. And this Sidekick has the ability to trigger external events like Slack alerts, email, S3, connection, push logs into Elastic, and so on and so forth. And what we want to see here is how we can leverage this whole bundle to see what happened if someone tried to hack our system and break it. Are we able to use Falco to stop it and perhaps to fix, if we can, this bad behavior? And basically how it works, let's do that way fast. So we are consolidating each and any events that happens everywhere in your cluster into Falco. Falco loads them into his own Sidekick system, and then the Sidekick system sends this to an instance that will load the rules, do some checks, and then trigger events and actions if we want to have actions on this. Time for a demo. Let's switch screen. Hopefully you see it there. So what I have here is a basic WordPress that I just built. As you can see, written in French, because I'm French, actually. And let's see if I can break it. And if I can break it, what happens using Falco? I'm going to use a tool called VP Force for now, and see if I can perhaps guess and find an account that I can use. So let's make it quick. There we go. And it finds an account, which is quite cool. Let's see if it finds anything else. And as you can see, the account is from this conference, obviously. Nothing else. Seems we're good. Okay, let's see if I can then get connected to this instance, doing some bad things like reverse shells and so on and so forth, and see if it works. So let's connect to my external instance. There we go. Load my reverse netcat, get back to the instance, and fire up some bad thing and see how it goes. Okay. So what I'm trying to do now is get access to a reverse shell outside of this instance and see if I can get access to the pod that runs this WordPress. As we can see here, something bad happened. It seems like the connection has been dropped. And let's see what happened. So what you can see here is it started by loading the connection. So I get access to my reverse shell. I get access to the pod, as you can see here, and then the connection drops. Now let's see what happens, because in this case, we had Falco running. So Falco runs, as you can see in my cluster here, you have all the pods running, and it has been deployed using Helm charts, as you can see here. So the Falco and its own Sidekick. And let's see if I can find some information about what's happening in the cluster. So my WordPress has been killed, as you can see here, 45 seconds. So something may have killed my WordPress, and probably because of what happened. Let's see if we can find something interesting and get access to this, and get access to the UI. I'm checking also how the UI works. Okay, and so this is the Falco Sidekick UI. We had some interesting stuff here. As you can see, we run some untrusted shell, and as you can see there, we had a critical event. This event has been triggered by a rule that I built into Falco, and it allowed Falco to say that I tried to do something bad into my cluster, into my WordPress pod. And what I did afterwards is I used a tool called kubeless, and using kubeless, I just written a simple rule that I will just show you right away that says, okay, if this happens, then drop the pod and recreate it from scratch. How does it work? Let me show you. Right here. Delete pod. And this is, so the pod that I'm using, and if I'm going to go into, here's the rule. So the rule says for run untrusted shell, this is what I used before, just delete. And as you can see, that's what we have here. where simply linking to the bot. The nice stuff here is I said that Falco has the ability to trigger alerts, but also notifications. Let's see how it works. What I did here is I connected my Falco instance to Slack. And as you can see, it has detected everything that happened. Critical shell access to it. Let's make it bigger, perhaps. Oh, it should be bigger. Yeah, it is. So it loads the critical access. As you can see, it sees everything, and we see that something happened in the cluster. This is a very simple way to use Falco as your behavior analysis. There are a lot of ways, different ways that you can leverage this tool. I just wanted to show you how briefly you can use it. We had some issues here, but not that much. If you want to load at Falco LC, how you can leverage its powerful tooling and rules, just go ahead into its documentation. You have the labs. The labs are very well mailed, and they can really help you. And obviously, if you have any questions, or if you want to hire me to help you into your behavior analysis project, then please reach out to me and say hi and see how can I help you with. So this was a very quick demo. Hope you liked it. If you have any questions, then please drop them in the chat, and I'll just give it back to you now.
All right, thank you, Rachid, for the demo on Falco. I think it's a very interesting tool to use, and I'm now, my hands are itching, and I want to try it out myself. So that's always a good sign after a demo. Again, folks, sorry, sometimes it's a little dodgy to see it on the screen, but we try to make the best of it, and I still think we have some valuable information from Rachid.